This gives you the assurance of that you're getting the seed placement right.
The PTI Farm is designed to challenge the status quo, challenge all of the techniques that farmers have been using on their farms for decades.
In this week's episode of Planting Pit Stops, we'll be hanging out with a grower in Nebraska, visiting Precision Planting's PTI Farm to learn about the different trials and summer events that they have that you can attend, and we'll wrap it all up by learning why downforce is an important element in growing a healthy crop.
Scott Ulmer, I'm 42 years old. I farm currently south and east of Sutton, Nebraska. We farm roughly about 1,800 acres, and we do about 1,000 acres of custom harvesting and custom planting as well. We raise corn, soybeans, and father has a small cow-calf operation as well. Oh, I always knew that I always wanted to do this for a living. When I was younger, we were struggling in the late 90s, probably, like most farmers were. So I went to college, got a degree in agribusiness, and then I'm still currently working at a company for 24 years now. Same company I've been working for. So it makes some long nights every now and then. Looking ahead in the future, I'm trying to become a full-time farmer because currently I work in a chemical application job in the local town here. Planting season is chaos for about a week and a half. Our hardest problem is probably the logistics of it. We run a 2x2 program with our planter, and it's hard to keep seed and liquid to it at the same time with just two people. So I have a Massey Ferguson VE planter. I've had real good luck with it. It's got all the precision stuff on it, and it's simple to work on. With this planter now that I used to own a 6,000 white planter, and it was always a real good planter. But with this one, with all the precision stuff in it, it just gives you the assurance of that you're getting the seed placement right, your row shutoffs are working correctly. What I really like about the 2020 monitor, or just the seed sense and everything, is being able to sort of move it into my climate and using multi-screens open so you can watch your down pressure. You can actually watch your applied down pressure and the pressure that's actually getting used as well. So you can just sort of see how hard the ground is or how soft the ground is, and it tells you where you're having skips if you need to increase your back pressure a little bit or decrease it because you got a lot of doubles. It's a real nice tool where it tells you what's going on out in the field instead of you going out and digging and trying to figure out what's going on. My favorite part of planting season is probably seeing your plans start, I guess. Make sure everything's going to work right, and everything you've figured out doing is hopefully going to work.
Now that we wrapped up with our grower in Nebraska, we're going to jump over to Precision Planting's PTI Farm in Illinois and learn about how the research and trials done there can help farmers improve their operation.
My name is Jason Webster. I'm lead commercial agronomist for Precision Planting, and I also manage and direct the PTI Farm, the Precision Technology Institute in Pontiac, Illinois. The PTI Farm consists of 400 acres. When we first started, we were 200 acres in size, but we've doubled to 400 acres, and we've got approximately 160 trials that we're working on this farm. A wide variety of trials that I really think that every farmer could use some of the trials that we're using on their own farms. This research farm is designed to challenge the status quo. We've built this research farm for farmers to test various agronomic trials, and one of the things that we know with our clientele, with our farmer base, is farmers do things every single year the same way. They're taught by their dad, their grandfather, how to do things on their farm, and they stay comfortable with that. And so the PTI Farm is designed to challenge the status quo, challenge all of the techniques that farmers have been using on their farms for decades, and we compare it to something else. One of the things we want to know is if we do something different than farmers are used to doing, will it increase yield, or more importantly, will it increase profitability? That's what farming's all about, is we want to continue the sustainability. We want to continue profitability so we can keep that farm going for the next generation. When the calendar flips to July, August, and September, we open our doors to farmers across the world. It's not just a domestic situation here at the PTI Farm with farmers across the United States, but it's international as well. And so we have farmers come to our farm, we take them out to our trials, we show the objective of the trials we're working on, we show the conclusion, the data we've collected over the years we've been here, and then we have a conversation. We talk to our farmers and we say, what do you think? Do you think this would work on your farm? And this is where the neat part happens. It's a conversation, it's an ag forum where I think farmers can learn from other farmers, and it's just a great experience. So once we do open our doors up in the summertime, we invite folks in, and it's an experience is what we call it. It's an all-day event. It's quite the ordeal. But we have lots of different sessions out here where it's designed for farmers to learn. It's all about education here at this farm. It's about education in the field agronomy-wise. It's the equipment, it's the technology. One of the questions we always get from farmers is, well, what is the technology that's available in the marketplace? And we kind of take it to the next level where we show them the technology, what it is and what it does, and then we let them use it. We actually get them into a tractor, we get them into a planter, we get them into a sprayer, and they actually do it here on the farm and understand how it works, and they get to compare it to what their technology and equipment is on their farm. We have our winter conference at Precision Planting, where it's more of an R&D experience, talking about some of the new technology things are coming. We also give an update from the PTI Farm of the new data coming in, and we share that with folks. And then during the wintertime, we also do our Inside PTI Live, where it's all agronomy, all research from this PTI farm, and we just share the results of what we've learned from the last growing season, as well as multiple years of doing the same trials over and over again. The agronomy trials that we're working on here, it's not just a 1 year and done. As a minimum, all of our trials are 3 years, and then we can determine whether they continue or not. But we've got some agronomy trials that are pretty important, that we've got 10-year studies, 10 years of doing the same thing over and over again. Some of those include water. Some years we have too much of it. This year we were wet, this spring we had all kinds of water. Some years we've been super dry, we don't get the water. And so what we wanted to do was, this reservoir behind me, this is how we solve both problems. We put tile in, we've got this reservoir. When we're too wet, when Mother Nature gives us too much rain, we saturate soils, we get rid of oxygen in the soil, our water management program goes to work for us. The tile will take the excess water and put it in this drainage reservoir, but we hold it for dear life. Most growers, when they put tile in, that tile is going to outlet the water into a creek or a river, and the water is gone. We don't do that. We put the water right here in this reservoir. It's a holding tank for us, because when we turn off hot and dry in the summertime, usually in June, July, August, this is my irrigation. And this gives me the ability to recycle rainwater. This is rainwater in this reservoir behind me, and I can take this rainwater back out and irrigate it to my corn and soybeans. It's one of the most awesome trials we've ever really worked on. And not only is it agronomically friendly, because we can irrigate and increase yield, but it's also environmentally friendly. When we talk about the sustainability aspect of this, we like a well-rounded program here at the farm, and we're always looking at technology, agronomics that we think farmers would really like to see here at this research farm. So one of the things we brought in, our newest construction that was finally done last year, was our GSI grain bin and grain drying system. So I wanted to incorporate that in because I think farmers have questions. Some of the questions are at harvest time, how dry should the corn be when I start harvesting corn? Should I harvest it wet? Should I let it sit in the field, dry down? And if we do that, what are the consequences that come with it? So this again is another 10-year study here at the farm where we've got corn that we'll harvest at 30% moisture, really high moisture levels, and we'll let the corn dry down to number 2 yellow dent, 15% corn, and we'll analyze the differences of it. When was the moisture level at harvest that made me the most money? And we did this because we really couldn't find a lot of data out there to prove to farmers long term what the proof is in this harvest loss situation happening in the field. So we said, let's bring the GSI bins in, let's bring the dryers in and go through this and share the information with farmers. The most rewarding part of my job is, no doubt about it, when a farmer comes to this farm, we take them out into our agronomic trials, and at the end of the day, they come to us and they say, this is the best field day we've ever been to. We've talked about things we've never talked about. We've heard about technology we didn't even know existed. And that's what makes this the ultimate research farm. And that's what we strive for. Every day we're looking for that experience, for these farmers to come out and say, wow, boy, did we learn something here today. To sign up to come to the PTI Farm, it's super easy. We always have our events. We have registration on our website at precisionplanting.com. You can always go to the event tab and find out what's happening at Precision Planting, and folks can sign up for those on our website.
One of the key pieces of research that's come from Precision Planting's PTI Farm is the importance of downforce. Jason Lee and I are going to discuss why that's so important to have on your planter. Welcome back to another planter technology segment. We're going to be talking about how to achieve a better furrow. One of the most important things a planter does is create a furrow that the seed can easily or cleanly drop to the bottom of, so that you're always planting at your set depth into moisture. And one of the technologies that helps you achieve that is a downforce system, which is applying downforce to the row unit so that your opener discs are always at the depth you set. I guess, Jason, why is it really important that we always are planting at the proper depth?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, and in one of our other episodes we talked about the importance of spacing those seeds out correctly and uniformly, right? The other side of that story, though, is making sure that all of those plants come up out of the ground at about the same time, because if they do, they'll develop throughout the season at the same time, and we'll really get that nice consistent ear size as well per plant. And there's a lot of things that can impact that emergence timing uniformity, right? And one of the things that we found in our past research is the importance of planting depth and getting those seeds down into moisture so that they always imbibe water at about the same rate. So that way they germinate and they sprout at the same rate, right? Well, that sounds easy, right? And there's a lot of reasons why our planter may not always be planting at that right depth, right? I mean, soil type changes, compaction zones across the field change, moisture levels, topography, even how fast my planter is moving across that field, I can get a lot of bounce right on my planter. And so maybe my row units aren't always staying engaged into the ground to maintain that consistent planting depth. And so that's really, why we have delta force on our planters, is to make sure that we're always maintaining that consistent planting depth, and that I can make those seamless adjustments so that I always am. The other thing, though, we can't do is over compact that furrow by applying too much pressure on our gauge wheels, right? Especially if I'm planting when it's a little bit too wet, or if I'm in a soil type that is really prone to compaction. So it's really that striking that balance of making sure I have enough pressure to always maintain consistent planting depth, that I'm not over applying to where I run the risk of compacting the furrow, and then I might get some sidewall compaction. So I guess, Forrest, with all that in mind, talk to us a little bit about delta force, that technology, and how that can help a grower achieve that uniform emergence like we're looking for.
No, thanks, Jason. So as you mentioned earlier, Massey Ferguson Planters are equipped with Precision Planting's delta force, which is an hydraulic downforce and lift force. So you have to be able to automatically adjust to that as you go across the field. Historically, right, planters had springs or airbags, which typically applied more of a constant force. Yes, you could adjust those, but not row by row and not easily or quickly. And so delta force allows, again, like our meters, to have row by row control as each row is experiencing different conditions. And so there's a load pin in each row, and so it continually is constantly changing, lifting or applying more force depending on what's needed to truly get that seed to the proper depth and make sure that your furrow are not overly compact or under compact for the conditions you're planting in. That's a wrap on this episode. If you'd like to learn more about Precision Planting's PTI Farms research or summer events, check out their link in the description below. And until next time, please subscribe, like, and leave some comments below.